Hi, I'm Susan Brubaker-Knapp, your host for season 2500 of Quilting Arts, Beyond the Boundaries. With every quilt and new technique, we're encouraging you to take a step outside of your comfort zone and push your creative boundaries. It might be a new color palette, a different material, or reevaluating a basic technique with a new twist. There are no boundaries holding you back. Up first, Janelle Gerard pushes the boundaries on materials with sticks and stones and how to attach all different types of found objects. Then Nancy Ryan redefines what a quilt should be with a spun polyester leaf using acrylic paint. Let's head outside for Quilting Arts. Today we're talking about sticks and stones and lots of other beautiful embellishments you can add to a small art quilt. Welcome, Janelle Gerard.
Thank you. I've been embellishing quilts since about the 90s, so I kind of have played with a little bit of everything that could be used to embellish a quilt. And this is the example of taking it to a little bit different level. So I've used washers found on walks in the street and dye attracting sheets that you throw in your laundry to collect the dye molecules, and birch bark that's got lichen on it, and stones. So it's just a case of whatever was found that day, and I'm really all about the outdoors, so those things really attract me more than anything else.
But sometimes you find really cool stuff and you can't figure out how to attach it.
Exactly.
Right.
And so my quest is always to find that out. And we have an argument in my house about the drill press. My husband says it's his drill press. I say it's my drill press. And I can drill anything and make it a bead.
Oh, okay.
And G.I. Joe's head one year was on the... So we're going to show how just to take and start something like this. I just have, so that I don't have to, this one is extra.
Okay, put it over here.
So that I don't have to hoop things or support them with anything in order to stabilize them, I'm going to just put batting on the back to do the handwork.
Okay.
So there's actually a piece of fusible web sitting on top of the batting, and I can just take that and put it onto, and it's pretty well centered. I'm not going to really worry too much about fussiness of it, and just fuse it right on there.
So this is fusing the batting to the back of the fabric you're going to be working on.
Exactly. And that's just to stabilize it so that it isn't a case of ever having to use a hoop or any type of framework to get it. The other thing is, treat these sheets. They're like paper, but treat them just like you would fabric. And just taking and putting that fusible on to the backing of it lets you take and go.
And that's just a real lightweight fusible.
It is very lightweight. It's not going to, add any bulk or anything else. And in the case of this, if you're just taking and doing your lining up, so if you just take your ruler and just kind of roughly line it up, you can just take and go very carefully. And I notice now, and we're not even going to worry about it, if you notice that this sheet was never straight, I'm not going to worry about it.
No, those irregularities sometimes are what make things beautiful.
And I'm going to take and just fuse it on there.
Fusing that down. So you're basically building all your fabric layers.
In a layer, okay?
All right.
And then once you've got that down,
this one out of the way.
all I'm going to take and do, I'm going to take my little needle out of there, is draw a line using chalk to be my stitching line.
Okay.
And I'm just going to take and have it so that it's just very faint. And the reason I'm using the chalk is so it disappears and goes away, and I'm not going to have to, and I'm going to start from this side over here right now. And so I'm not even going to worry about my knot or anything else because it's in the batting.
Okay.
It's never going to show. And you're going to just take and do a running stitch to get those. And all you're doing here now is taking this and doing a running stitch.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at all that great texture you've created.
Exactly. And on the Osnaburg, that just enhances that natural texture that's there anyway. And then, if you notice on the first initial piece, I changed the direction because it was too static this way. It's just going to be boring. So I just draw, and that lets you take and add that little other direction.